At some point, every streamer has dealt with it. Pixelated, blurry, grainy, low quality streams that just look unpleasant to pay, but then you load up your Twitch page and bam, it's unwatchable. But today, in this big bad video, I'm going to show you some ways to fix these types of problems and make your streams look as sharp as some of the top streamers on the platform with just a few simple OBS changes. Let's get started. Firstly, let's talk about the pixelation, or the blurriness you might see. Struggle from really poor visuals and you are sending to look in blurriness, or the pixelation that you see in your streams. That's why on your OBS preview window, it looks perfectly fine, but when you go to Twitch, you see the issue. It's because you're transmitting that data. It's the bit rate. Now, here you can see what this stream of Fortnite looks like at just 1,000 extra data. Guessing OBS, if I raise my bitrate by entering the output settings menu, you can see a significant improvement in the quality of the stream. And when I run around, no more pixelation, or at least significantly reduced pixelation. So great, problem solved. We should all just crank our bitrate up to 1,000,000 and just have crystal clear streams, right? Well, no. If your upload speed is too low and you set your bitrate way too high, this can cause a lot of issues that are annoying for your viewers, like stuttering, dropped frames, or complete disconnections. Additionally, Twitch and YouTube actually have caps for how high you can set your bitrate in OBS. For non-partners on Twitch, this value is kind of low at 6,000 kilobytes per second, and while you can technically go past this value, it's really not recommended unless you're a partner, and it can cause some issues for you in the long run. For YouTube, however, the bitrate limit is much, much higher at a staggering 51,000 kilobytes per second. Now, if you want to make sure that the bitrate you set is perfect for you, you're going to need to determine your network speed. Now, there are many websites for determining this. You can use speedtest.net, that's typically the simplest one, but there are many other options out there. On my network, my upload speed tops out at about 20 megabytes per second. Next up, my upload speed tops out at about 20 megabytes per second. Next up, check what your streaming platform recommends you use for your encoder settings. Now, I typically stream on Twitch, which, by the way, if you'd like to watch the description. Now, Twitch rate of 6,000. Now, since I know my network can handle that, and I have so many what resolution that what requires you needs to transmit. It's a filter, a downscale length. Now, if you pixel peep on the Lanxos filter, you can definitely notice some shimmering on the little tentacle hair of the character, fine details there. In the end, however, the filter that you end up using is going to be highly dependent on what game you're playing, how low you're lowering your resolution, and what looks best to you. I would really recommend taking some time to experiment and see which filter is right for you. And if you're using a low-end PC that you're streaming on, it is important to note that Lanxos is the most demanding of the downscaling filters to use, so might be something to keep in mind. Lastly, depending on your system specs and your stream setup, you may want to consider using an entirely different encoder. Now, if you use an NVIDIA GPU, NVENC can deliver the nicer your stream will look, but also the higher the CPU load will be. I personally would steer clear of the Intel QuickSync encoder, especially if you have an older Intel CPU, because honestly, you'll just get better visual quality and performance by utilizing NVIDIA or AMD's offerings instead. Now, I hope these tips helped you out a lot in improving your streams and your streaming setup. If they did, a like and a subscription